A 1995 study that was conducted by the Journal of Alcohol and Drug Education. They asked people to close their eyes for a second and envision a drug user and describe that person to me. 95% of the people polled described a black person. Sitting on a presentation Michelle Alexander gave, she helped this make sense for me. She asked the crowd, she said, how many of you have been to college? People raised their hand, and almost everybody in the crowd raised their hand. She said, on your college campus, how many of you knew that drugs were there? She said, when was the last time you turned on the news and you saw a drug raid on a college campus? She said, it's not that we don't know that drugs are there, but we've made an intentional choice about where we're going to wage the war on drugs and where we're not. We need to understand that there has been a choice made, and that's why we see the different racial disparities that are going on. It's not that certain communities are immune from drug activity or don't participate in it. It's that we institutionally have made a choice about where we're going to wage the war on drugs. The racial disparities are undeniable. And I think it's important for us to acknowledge that this is just a fraction of the US populace. Oftentimes we stop the conversation here. Even though we have seen that there have been study after study after study that have proven that black people are no more likely to use or sell drugs than white people. But this is what we're socialized to believe in the face of empirical evidence that proves otherwise. Historically, we've heard this narrative about absentee black fathers or fatherless homes. Well, that narrative is about to shift. We're about to start hearing about motherless homes. And this is something I'm going to continue to harp on. Nearly 2/3 of incarcerated women are serving time for non-violent offenses. This is important for the church to know because it's predicted that 70% of children with at least one incarcerated parent will spend time in the criminal justice system at some point in their lifetime. There have been juveniles as young as 9 years old who've been sentenced to the death penalty in our nation. Even though we know that cognitively a 9-year-old has no comprehension of the magnitude of their offense.